See how they jump, see how they dance at the prophets. See how they move and they groove at the prophets. Oh yeah. See boy, my family big, got to carry plenty things. Something for everyone, can't forget where you come from. They educate us, everyone. Oh yeah. Of creeds and colors, mixing together the different flavors. Now the festival's so unique. And the crowd falling around your feet. Oh yeah. See how they dance, see how they clap at the prophets. See how they move and groove at the prophets. Oh yeah. Come on down, enjoy yourself at the prophets. Come on down, respect yourself, you might get lucky at the prophets. Mohawk and the Rooters, Lassido and the Boys, Ed Moxie, the Brylands coming to you. Long Island Boys, something to you. Oh yeah. When you're having fun, you hope you're never done. Feeling good inside, time flies right on by. Keep this festival alive. Oh yeah. See how they dance, see how they clap at the prophets. See how they move and groove at the prophets. Oh yeah. My Lord, when time to go, they love you so, giving you this and that. 10 dozen crowds right in my stack. Crabman's coming back. Oh yeah. See how they jump in the line, rock their body on time, feeling fine at the prophets. Showing love among the family at the prophets. See how they dance, see how they clap at the prophets. Come on down and have some fun, you might get lucky on the run at the prophets. Oh yeah. They dancing. Oh yeah. At the prophets.
Hey, Islanders, we're back. Oh my goodness, music! Oh, that's it. Rock it. Do it. Come on. Check it out. Another weekend's here. We got a fever in the air. People all around, everybody's getting down. Breaking skirt music, that's what they wanna hear. Dancing to the music, everything they bear. Rise up for partners, spin around and round. Put your arm akimbo, wind out to the ground. When you hear the music, you will ask for more. When you feel the rhythm, you will jump up on the floor. We got a time again. Everybody singing, party time again. Hear the music playing, got a time again. Everybody's dancing, party time again. No time for romances. Oh yeah, do it, y'all. That's right. Shake it, girl. Ladies here and there, dancing everywhere. The party's over here. Everyone, let's chill. Hey. Rock your body on time. Shake up your body line. Girl, you look so good, like I know you should. Grab yourself a partner, spin around and round. Put your hand on your hips and wind up to the ground. When you hear the music, you will like some more. When you feel the rhythm, you jump up on the floor. We got a time again. Everybody singing, party time again. Hear the music playing. Party time again. Everybody's dancing. Party time again. No time for romancing. Party time again. Everybody's singing. Party time again. Hear the music playing. Party time again. Everybody's dancing. Party time again. No time for romancing. Oh yeah. That's it, girl. Move those hips.
Hey,
Take it out. Oh, yeah. Go home. Move it. Shake it. You go, girl. Wrap yourself up on the spin around and around. Put your hand on it and wind up to the ground. When you hear the music, you will like some more. When you feel the rhythm, jump up on the floor. We got the time again. Everybody sing party time again. Oh, yeah. Nice song. Monkey Q. We gon' do it to you. Time again. Have a cup.
I'm not going to try and carry on the pump. I've seen everything until now.
Okay.
So,
Ireland, keep it rocking, y'all. You got some halo.
No problem.
Get Ireland and the record spread, y'all.
Okay.
From Bahamas, our second city. Tracy Vegas, we can't forget you. No little drop, violence.
Follow us on all social media. Like us on Facebook at Global 99.
Expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Ladera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. Today is Monday, and every Monday around these parts, we do what is called a Masterclass on the Constitution. And of course, the professor who leads us through the masterclass is the one and only Sidney McArthur Walter Thompson. For those of you who are regulars around here, y'all know that name quite well. Before we bring him into the studio, let's go ahead and share how you can be a part of this conversation. Even though I have come to expect there's 2 days when I know being to get a lot of calls, Monday and Wednesday. Because people be listening to the information that's being provided. So I want you to know you are free to call in, okay? If you have a question. Don't call wasting time. Don't call talking foolishness, because we don't like people wasting our time and we got plenty concrete, solid information to share. So here's how you can be a part of the show. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. We are streaming live on Facebook, on the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page, on the official Global 99.5 FM pages, and we are also using our YouTube channels to stream there, so you can join us on YouTube, and you can alternatively listen to us on radio, Global 99.5 FM. You can also check us out on Cable Bahamas, channel 974, and on the Global 99.5 FM app, where you can actually listen to shows that we do here at Global 99.5 FM. So that being said, let me bring Professor up into the... boy, we got a close-up on Professor today. Professor, we got you real tight on this camera. Jason, you might want to come pull the camera back a bit so it's not so tight on him. We got him really, really tight. So let's pull that back a bit. No, just pull the whole thing back. Yeah, I'll tell you when. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Right about there is good. Okay, all right. So we got Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson, back in the studio with us. Professor Thompson, welcome once again to GPS.
Well, thank you, Ms. Malcolm, and it's good to be here. And good afternoon, Bahamas. You know what happens on Monday. We talk constitutional talk. And I'd just like to make a brief comment about independence.
Okay.
I was thinking about what has happened over the last 50 years that we could celebrate.
Okay.
We have one particular good thing that we can celebrate.
Only one, Professor?
Only one.
One, Professor.
I thought about it very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what it is?
What?
The peaceful transition from one administration to the next.
Professor, you're trying to tell me that's all we get to celebrate in 50 years?
That's all we have after 50 years. And it has nothing to do with the government of the Bahamas or the opposition. It has to do with God and the Bahamian electorate.
Mm-hmm.
The peace and tranquility that has prevailed in spite of the problems from the government of the Bahamas,
mm-hmm.
and in spite of the difficulties that the Bahamian people have gone through. And let me tell you, the last election, that was 2021,
mm-hmm.
the most peaceful, the most quietest election ever in 50 years.
Well, you know, some people could disagree with you, right?
No, they could disagree. That's all right. But I look at the facts. Even the wind didn't blow. Not even the leaf was moving. You couldn't even hear a pin drop on the ground. It was so quiet.
Professor, you can't say that's the only thing, though.
No, that's the only thing. That is the only thing that I see where, let me tell you something. You see what's happening in Sudan today?
Uh-huh.
You see what's happening in Ghana?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening in Ukraine?
Yes.
Ms. Malcolm and Bahamian people, you have to understand, if we lose the democracy we have, it's going to be very, very difficult or even impossible to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
The people in Sudan are catching hell. People are dying left, right, and center. The fellas are fighting.
Right.
And lives are being lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we get things all mixed up. But there are those who are trying to push us to go in a direction that we've never been. And we never will go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy that the Bahamian people has resisted very strongly. But we have a constitution. We can achieve much more. But we have to know it. We have to understand it. That is one good, solid thing that we can celebrate after 50 years. The peaceful transition from one administration to the other. Even the fellow who thought he was so bad, he even quietly went and submitted to the next person coming in. That didn't happen in Washington. You saw what happened in Washington. Big fight. People get killed. And they say they are the bastion of democracy.
Thanks to Trump.
Say they're the bastion of democracy. We hadn't had nothing like that happen in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And Bahamians ought to be proud of the fact, and let's keep it that way. Remember now, this was all the way from 1729. Almost 300 years of peaceful transition in the parliamentary democracy of the Bahamas. It's not perfect. A lot of things we need to change. And we have a constitution that empowers us to change it. We don't have to wait for some fellas who don't want even no referendum. What do you fool around with them for? The Bahamian people have to understand and know. That's why we're going to the Constitution today, so that people can understand the powers they have in their hand, in spite of what others may say or think. They have a right to their view. They have a right to their opinions. I'm not even getting into that. But I'm saying the one thing we can celebrate after 50 years,
Only one.
peaceful transition from one administration to the next. Now, I hear people talk about government. Let me just say this very clearly. When I read the Constitution, one government of the Bahamas. So when you hear me speak, I speak about the government of the Bahamas.
Okay.
You have different administrations, the Piddling administration,
Right.
the Ingram administration, the Christie administration, the Minnis administration. Now you have this personality here now, this new administration.
Why you say personality, Mr. Thompson? What you trying to say?
That's just what I said. This particular
You didn't,
personality.
you didn't stutter or stop up.
No. I know what I want to say. That's why I put it that way. Because I heard some things on the air today from callers on other stations. Man, they're raising hell about this current administration.
Well,
but there's something you can do.
Let me just give you a little heads up right now.
Yes.
Thursday coming. It's going to be a very explosive show. I'm not going to say who the guest is just yet, but he agreed today to come on the show. He's been on before. And we are going to be talking about on Thursday how outside influences control governments, whether it be the government of the Bahamas or the governments in Latin America or in Asia or in Africa or anywhere else in the world. That's all I want to say right now. Now, y'all who like to accuse me of being a conspiracy theorist. Oh, Michelle, you always coming on here with these conspiracy theories. Please set your calendar now to remind you not to miss Thursday's show. I can leave that right there. I can say no more. But Thursday's show is going to be a very interesting show. So, yeah, don't miss that. But, you know, Mondays we have another very interesting series going on, and that is teaching us about the Constitution of the Bahamas. I have to tell you this. I was in San Salvador this past weekend with my church group. We had a mission trip to San Salvador, and during one of our downtimes, one of the ladies on the trip said to me, "Hey, Deanna Faye, I'm sending you a shout out." She said to me, "Girl, Michelle, I don't miss your show." She said, especially on a Monday. She said, "I've learned so much about the Constitution from that professor you just have on." She said, "Girl, I don't miss that show." She said, "All us is be listening." I say, "What?" She said, "Yeah, man." She said, thank you so much for doing that because it's really teaching us about the Constitution of the Bahamas. I say, wow. She said, all us is be listening. So Deanna Faye, sending you a shout out, girl. Thanks to you and everybody in your office. And now you hear the man himself, Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson. He's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to our Constitution. And I'm just honored to have him come here every Monday to share that knowledge with people, because a lot of people, didn't know. And still far too many still don't know about what their rights and responsibilities are in the Constitution. And so these Masterclass Monday shows, I believe, have done quite a bit to help to educate the masses about what is in fact written in the Constitution of the Bahamas and how it affects their everyday lives. So they may not call in a lot, Professor, but we know they're listening.
I would hope that it will get to the point where they're listening. That's fine. That is all well and good. Because I know over the last 50 years, the Constitution was practically ignored, to our detriment, of course, as a people. But it is always good when you can learn, because there's a lot of catching up we have to do. And once the Bahamian people have gotten some basic, fundamental understanding of this document, I expect them to go on to step number 2. Now, I got to help them with that one. That is to be constitutionally organized to bring change. Now, that's a deep one. That's very deep. That's very serious. You do not play with that, because we cannot afford. The Constitution is your salvation document. We do not have any more time to waste. What bothers me a lot is the fact that so many well-intentioned Bahamians who lived during the past 50 years are not here.
Okay.
They look forward to a better country. They look forward to a better nation. They had high hopes. But we are still here. Their children are here. Their grandchildren are here. And so we have to make that dream alive. Now, I'll say this. What we have to accomplish, starting with 51, economic and financial prosperity. That's what we need. We haven't achieved that yet. The masses in the country have not yet achieved economic and financial prosperity. Now, it talks about the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It's a beautiful name. I love it. Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That was not by accident. That was by design, by God. The wealth that is in this country must become common to all Bahamian people. All right? So that is what we have to push for. With the help of God, we will achieve that. Remember now, God is still God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And we have to have him in our parliament when the parliamentarians are sitting down to make laws. And when people are discussing these things in their community, you need to have your Holy Bible right there to make sure that no law that is created or any potential law that is going to be created contradicts the Holy Word of God. Because we're under God. We have to listen to him. Now, we know what the record is over the last 50 years, but we got plenty changing to do. We have plenty things to correct, and Bahamians, it's going to take hard work and commitment to make that a reality.
All right. We are looking forward to it.
Yes, ma'am.
Here we can make this happen. Okay, so for those of you who are new around here on Mondays, our goal is to go through the Constitution of the Bahamas line by line, article by article, and break it down for you so that it is easily digested and understood. When I was back as a practicing journalist, our theme used to be KISS. Keep it simple.
Oh, yes.
So that a 6-year-old can understand it.
Praise the Lord.
So that's our goal, to break this down so that everybody can understand. Now, we sort of digressed a couple of weeks ago because certain events within the country led us down the path of comparing the Bahamas Nationality Act with the Constitution of the Bahamas. They're not one and the same. They're two different laws. One is the supreme law, being the Constitution, and the other is, what would you call that kind of law, Professor?
Well, it should have been a statute law, but
statute law.
When you look at it objectively, it's not even a law because it was not passed properly. It was never ratified.
What do you mean?
I'm going to tell you why.
Please.
I'm going to tell you because you see, when you talk about anything in those articles on citizenship, any variation of that has to be done by a referendum. That was not done with this Nationality Act. So basically, it doesn't have any legal standing whatsoever.
Professor Mann, don't say that.
That's the truth.
Because you cause some problems when you make them kind of statements. So you're trying to say that decisions are being made in this country based on a document that's not legal?
That's correct. That is the truth.
For the past 50
That's
years?
correct. For the past 50 years, yes, ma'am.
And
anything...
And ain't no QC or KC or whatever, so you pick that up?
But I don't know. You got to ask them. You got to find out from them. I don't know what's in their mind, but I know what the Constitution says. I know what the Nationality Act say. And I'm trained in constitutional law. So the Constitution doesn't change. If it says something has to be done by a referendum, that's it. No government could change that. No parliament could change that. The people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas have to change that. Now, they did make an amendment to the Attorney General. And a lot of people called me and asked me whether that was legal. I said, yes. This, what we have now, goes to the very beginning when the Constitution was to come into effect. And this one came into effect the same day the Constitution was to come into effect. But it has no legal standing whatsoever. None.
And you're 1,000% sure you're
correct? Oh,
when
yes,
you say
I know
that.
I know it. See, all you have to do is look at what your Constitution says. Article 2. Any other law that is inconsistent with this Constitution shall prevail, and the other law, to the extent of its inconsistency, is null and void. This is not even a law. It's not even a legal thing. So it has a lot of problems with it. Well, let anyone out there who is QC or whatever, tell them call in and challenge it. I have done, Ms. Malcolm, I've done my own work. I do not mince words when I come on your show or any show that I'm invited on to talk about the Constitution, the Commonwealth. I take that very seriously. Now, many out there do not know the Constitution, and that is the biggest national sin of the Bahamian people, not knowing the Constitution. It has been to our detriment for 50 long years.
Wow.
Now we have to fix it. See, there's no point burying your head in the sand. The damage has already been done. Extensive damage. All you got to do is look at Article 6, the simplest article in the citizenship articles. And the government of the Bahamas and the Parliament of the Bahamas didn't get it straight. Couldn't get it straight for 50 years. You did something against the single Bahamian fathers and their children for 50 years. And all the Privy Council said, follow the document, follow the Constitution. They had nothing to it. They didn't come up with anything new. All they did was quote Article 6 exactly the way it is, follow that. Mind you, the judge told them. They went to the appeals court. The appeals court told them, and they ain't checking. They said, we want to go to them other fellas. So the people in the Privy Council had to tell them, follow your Constitution. Well, don't you think we should learn from that? Don't you think the government of the Bahamas and the people of the Bahamas should learn from that? Every time that we have to make a decision, we got to go to the Privy Council to say, you think we should do this? What kind of country are we? We can't even make simple, basic, fundamental decisions for the benefit of our people. And it costs a lot of money, to do these things. The taxpayers have to pay for this thing every time there's an appeal. It costs money.
Okay. When we come back, we're going to be continuing our exploration of the Bahamas Nationality Act, which Professor is now saying has no legal standing. Lord have mercy. We got to look at it anyhow.
Yeah, we look at it, but it's not even a law to begin with.
Oh my goodness! If there's any KC out there who could state otherwise,
call in
please
and let them
call.
state otherwise. That's all.
Sort Professor, because
I want
Professor trying to cause problems.
I'd love them to challenge it.
All right.
But you better come with your facts. That's all I'll tell them.
We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to go back into our exploration of the Bahamas Nationality Act in comparison with the Constitution of the Bahamas. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Less is love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here in your company on this Masterclass Monday, and we are talking with Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson, and would like you to join us. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 8010271. 8010271 is the WhatsApp line. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. If you haven't already done so, like and share the show. Also on YouTube on our official channels and on channel 974 on Cable Bahamas. Alternatively, you can catch us on the Global 99.5 FM app and, yes, by radio, 99.5 FM here in New Providence. And a huge welcome to our audience from Grand Bahamas. So let's bring Professor back up on the screen. There we go. Okay, so when we last left off, comparing the Nationality Act to the Constitution of the Bahamas, we stopped at Article 9.
No, stop at Article 8. We're supposed to start 9.
Yeah, we stopped at Article 8 to pick up at 9.
Yeah, start at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Article 9, and I'm reading from the Bahamas Nationality Act. Article 9 says the minister may, at his discretion, if application is made to him for naturalization in the prescribed manner by an alien of full age and capacity who satisfies him that he is qualified under the provisions of the second schedule, grant to him a certificate of naturalization, and a person to whom such a certificate is granted shall, on taking the oath of allegiance in the form prescribed in the third schedule, be a citizen of the Bahamas by naturalization as from the date on which the certificate is granted. We have a call on the line, apparently. So let's hear what this call has to say, and then, Professor, we're going to have for you to break that down.
Yes,
Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Michelle.
Hello.
And good afternoon to Professor Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Malcolm, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for having last week the esteemed lawyer on, Maurice Linton.
Yes.
And I think he's done a marvelous job, and he ought to be commended for that.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, Mrs. Malcolm, he has opened our eyes to the extent that we also know that the owners of the Port Authority allegedly has now funds for Grand Bahama has been allegedly put into their private accounts. This is billions of dollars that ought to be circulated in Grand Bahama so that the money can beautify the place, tear down the derelict homes, and continuously employ people.
Okay, so caller, do you have a question about the Constitution or the Nationality Act?
I don't want to get into that.
Well, that's what we're talking about today, though.
I understand.
Yeah,
but how are we really going to change what is going on with immigration pertaining to the Constitution?
Well, if you keep listening
and recalling all of those that were issued.
Thank you for calling. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to change the subject of the show on Monday because Monday is our day for the Constitution class. So we have another caller on a cell phone. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello, Miss.
Hi, you're on the air.
please turn down your radio or whatever you're listening to
Hello,
us
Mr.
on.
Malcolm.
Yes, hi.
It's a good thing to talk to you, but Mr. Thompson, could I address this question to him?
Sure, he's listening.
Mr. Thompson, I understand you not say misleading, but when you speak about the Nationality Act, that's what I want you to answer for me. The 1963 Constitution before the 1973 Constitution. Wasn't the 1973 Constitution was construed from the 1963 Constitution? So if, now that's the question. So if the 1963 Constitution it all came back together with the 1973 Constitution, the Nationality Act, isn't that legit? Because the laws was construed from the 1963 Constitution.
Caller, let me answer
the Nationality Act. So if it was passed on July 6th, or I think when Penguin did it, it's still legit because it was passed under Constitution which the 1973 Constitution was construed. I can sit back and listen.
No, okay,
it's
a fair question. It's a fair question. I'll answer it constitutionally. The Nationality Act was supposedly passed in the House and the Senate July the 5th, 1973. To commence, the commencement of the act, July the 10th, 1973. Okay, that was done by those in authority at that time. Any changes to any article in citizenship articles requires a referendum. That's what the Constitution says. Now, the 1963 Constitution, that is null and void. The 1973 Constitution is valid. There has been no changes to any of those citizenship articles approved by the Bahamian people. The Nationality Act is not even a legal document to begin with because it was not done constitutionally.
So are you saying then that it is the date of enforcement that makes a difference with regard to the Nationality Act? Is that what you're saying? Because I understand where the caller is going.
No, it came it was supposed to be before July the 10th, 1973.
Okay.
The same time when the Constitution came into effect.
Right.
Okay? So as of that date, July the 10th, the Constitution is in effect.
Yeah, but I think what the caller is arguing is that prior to that date, the existing Constitution, well, I don't know if evolved is the right word, from the 63 Constitution. And so if you had that window, because I think what the caller is arguing is that the Nationality Act came about prior to July 10th, 73. But your point is that it doesn't matter when it was written, it matters when it was enforced. Is that what you're saying?
That is correct.
Right.
You see, the enforcement is supposed to start July the 10th. And see, the thing is, the Constitution came into effect July the 10th, 1973. Nothing supersedes the Constitution. That's what the caller needs to understand. It has nothing to do with the Constitution prior to 1973. Everything starts with the new nation, July the 10th, 1973. So I just have to explain that to him so he could understand that. So it is rather difficult for the average person to understand these legal terminologies. So I have to break it down and make it simple. The little child can get it.
Right.
But the commencement of this particular piece of legislation, which is, a problem in itself, came into effect July the 10th, 1973.
Okay.
So if you're going to change anything in the Constitution came into effect July the 10th, 1973. So anything in there starts right there. So if you want to change anything in that, well, come on.
So both the existing Constitution and the Nationality Act came into effect on July 10th, 1973.
That is correct, yes.
So to answer the caller, it doesn't matter when it was written.
It's the commencement.
It matters when it began to be enforced.
That's correct.
Okay. Caller, I hope you understood that explanation. Okay, so let's go back to Article 9 of the Bahamas Nationality Act. Again, I'll read it. And then I need you to break this down
Yes,
for
ma'am.
us. The minister may, at his discretion, if application is made to him for naturalization in the prescribed manner by an alien of full age and capacity, who satisfies him that he is qualified under the provisions of the second schedule, grant to him a certificate of naturalization, and the person to whom such a certificate is granted shall, on taking the oath of allegiance in the form prescribed in the third schedule, be a citizen of the Bahamas by naturalization as from the date on which the certificate was granted, provided that no certificate of naturalization shall be granted under this section to any person unless he first renounces any of the citizenship that he may possess, or, in the case of a person who cannot renounce his citizenship of some other country under the laws of that country, he makes instead such declaration concerning that citizenship as may be prescribed.
Let's take it right from the top.
Okay.
I don't like the wording at all. The minister, as he thinks fit, at his discretion. What is full age? What does that mean? Full age and capacity. When you talk about naturalization and giving citizenship, the Constitution speaks specifically, article after article, time limits. What's the time limit on this one? As the minister thinks, any person. I have a problem with that. Because that's not constitutional at all. Okay? Now, the other part where he talks about in the Nationality Act, what is the second part there, what he said there?
Provided that no certificate of naturalization shall be granted under this section to any person unless he first renounces any other citizenship that he may possess, or in the case of a person who cannot renounce his citizenship of some other country under the laws of that country, he makes instead such declaration concerning that citizenship as may be prescribed.
So does that mean he still gets citizenship even if he cannot renounce? That's a question. I put a question mark to that. Because he's saying he's supposed to renounce. Then he's also saying if the person cannot renounce, you make declaration that you're not able to renounce. But I don't see any time limits there. Is this just wide open?
So how does that conflict what is written?
No, but the Constitution has specific dates and times under each specific article. Can you find the article that refers to this, what he's talking about in Article 9?
It's Article 9 of the Constitution as well?
I don't know. I don't have it before.
Let's see.
Because he's talking about naturalization. The minister naturalizing somebody. What does the Constitution say about naturalization?
Does it say anything about naturalization?
Oh, yes, it does.
Okay. But you can't remember which article?
No, I can't remember right offhand. But what I'm saying, if you look...
Okay, I see where Article 12 in the Constitution or 11 says deprivation of citizenship.
No, we'll come to that because he talked about deprivation too.
12 talks about renunciation of citizenship. Or
He ain't reached that far yet. He's coming up with that too.
So let me go back.
Naturalization.
Let me see if I can find that. Person born in the Bahamas after July 9th, person born in the Bahamas after July 1973 of non-citizen parents, persons who become citizens on July 1974.
Remember, all of those are persons from the United Kingdom and colony.
Yeah.
Not no alien.
I'm not sure which of these applies. Let's see. I'm scrolling down through the Constitution.
Because he has a portion in there talk about renunciation.
Right.
The person having to renounce if he has citizenship in some other country.
Right.
The Constitution speaks to that very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
In any number of articles in granting citizenship. But he's saying, as the minister sees fit, as he thinks fit, any person of full age and capacity. What does that mean?
Well, let me read what 12 says in the Constitution, renunciation of citizenship.
No, but he'll come to... okay, go ahead then. Go ahead.
Any citizen of the... Now, I'm reading from the Constitution. Any citizen of the Bahamas who has attained the age of 21 years and who, A, is also a citizen or national of another country, any other country, or B, intends to become a citizen or national of any other country, shall be entitled to renounce the citizenship of the Bahamas by declaration. Okay, so that's not what we're talking
I think he's
about.
coming to that further down in this document that he has here. But let me just say this, to suffice it to say that the Constitution, each article is very specific and very clear.
Okay.
They couldn't get Article 6 straightened out in 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
The Privy Council just told them, go and fulfill Article 6. Like we're a bunch of little children. Can't learn. Huh? That's all the man told them. Follow your Constitution. Now, where this thing about the minister as he sees fit, he can make any citizen, any person of full age and capacity. I don't know what that means. And the first schedule and the second schedule, I don't know what those things are. I don't see anything in the document up to that point which says what the first schedule is, what the second schedule is. I don't know that.
I think I found what you're looking for in the Constitution. It is Article 9 of the Constitution.
Okay.
9.1 says, notwithstanding anything contained in Article 8 of this Constitution, a person born legitimately outside the Bahamas after 9 July 73, whose mother is a citizen of the Bahamas, shall be entitled upon making application of his attaining the age of 18, and before he attains the age of 21, in such manner as may be prescribed, to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas, provided that he is a citizen of some other country than the Bahamas. He shall not be entitled to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas under this article unless he renounces his citizenship of that other country, takes the oath of allegiance, and makes and registers such declaration of his intentions concerning residence as may be prescribed. 2, when a person cannot renounce his citizenship of some other country under the law of that country, he may make instead such declaration concerning that citizenship as may be prescribed.
Yes.
3, any application for registration under this article shall be subject to exceptions or qualifications as may be prescribed in the interest of national security or public policy.
Now, you see, you don't see all of that in Article 9.
Of the nationality,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. It's just left wide open. Like the minister, he may decide he got 10 people out there he want to make citizens. Hey, presto, they become citizens as of the date when he signed the certificate. That's foolishness. It's utter nonsense. See, the Constitution is very specific, and that has to do with a child that's born to outside the country, 18 to 21. Okay, that's the child. That's a different set of circumstances. And then you have Article 7, which deals with persons who are not citizens of the Bahamas, who have a child here in the Bahamas. And the time limit is there, Ms. Malcolm, 18, but before you turn 19.
Right.
1 year window of opportunity. That's it. Then the door shuts. You don't see that in Article 9. And so this is why I have a problem when they write this kind of talk, this kind of legislation, where as the minister thinks, as he sees fit, at his discretion. I have problems with those kind of things because that's not clear to me. He could wake up on the wrong side tomorrow morning. Or he didn't have a good night's sleep, then what? At his discretion. The Constitution is specific and clear. There are specific dates and times you ought to go by. Not as he feel good today. I feel good today, so I can make 1,000 people citizens. What kind of crap is that? That's nonsense. It's a dangerous thing to do. But you're going to see when you talk about some other things further down in here. Then we can go back to the Constitution to see what the Constitution says.
Okay.
But this Article 9 doesn't line up with the Constitution at all.
Now,
it's left to the minister as he thinks fit, as he sees fit, at his discretion. Come on. What are we saying?
So what 7 of the Constitution says, just for the record.
Yeah, you go to that.
A person born in the Bahamas after 9th July 73, neither of whose parents is a citizen of the Bahamas, shall be entitled upon making application on his attaining the age of 18 years or within 12 months thereafter, in such manner as may be prescribed, be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas, provided that if he is a citizen of some country other than the Bahamas,
yes,
he shall not be entitled to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas under this article unless he renounces his citizenship of that other country, takes the oath of allegiance, and makes and registers such declaration of his intentions concerning residence as may be prescribed.
Right. So in both articles, when you read the Constitution is very specific. You have to renounce. That's it.
Right.
But in this, I don't know what this is saying. You see, I see something there about renunciation and then something else.
Mm-hmm.
So it is confusing when you write this kind of language instead of allowing the Constitution to say what it says. See, that's why the government got in trouble. Because for 50 years, they couldn't get it straight. 50 years, Ms. Malcolm. The simplest article on citizenship in this Constitution, they could not get it straight. In spite of all their legal knowledge, all their legal understanding, it's still best upon the Bahamian fathers and their children. The single Bahamian fathers and their children. They could not get it right. That's a serious indictment against the government of the Bahamas. And the Parliament of the Bahamas too.
I want to suggest something. Instead of saying they could not get it right, is it a case of they would not get it right?
Well, that may also be true. But the point is, let's look at the facts. They did not get it right, Ms. Malcolm.
Yeah, but my point is, was that intentional?
Now, that's a different...
That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, let's put it this way. The Bahamian people could consider that. But I just know they didn't follow the Constitution. So let's deal with the hardcore facts. Now, whether it's intentional, now I don't know you can make a mistake like that.
For 50 years?
For 50 years. That doesn't make any sense. And no one saw it. All these QCs, all these learned legal brains in the Attorney General's office, and they couldn't have enough sense to listen to the judge when the judge made a determination. They said, we're checking for you. They went to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal tell them, that's what the law say, follow it. We ain't checking for you either. That's the attitude of the government of the Bahamas. And the Privy Council only told them, follow what's in the Constitution, Article 6. Just quote it the way it is. The simplest, clearest article on citizenship. They messed up big time. Could not get it right.
Or would not get it right.
Or would not get it right.
Because just because you don't do something don't mean you can't do it.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. But it just didn't happen. And I think we as Bahamians, we got to face the harsh reality. That is a terrible injustice on the Bahamian father, the single Bahamian father and his children. You know, a kind of psychological damage that is done to those children. The kind of psychological damage that's done to the Bahamian male. We got enough problems as it is now with Bahamian male. And all you did was damage his psyche for the last 50 years.
We have to take a break, Professor. Lord of mercy. Okay, so you finished with 9? On the other side of the break, can we move on to part 3, loss of citizenship and the Nationality Act, or you won't go back to 9?
No, let's finish off 9.
Okay.
And come back from the break.
All right. You heard him. We're going to finish off 9, and then depending on how long it takes us to do that, we'll move on to part 3 of the Nationality Act, which is about loss of citizenship. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm, along with Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson in studio, talking about the Constitution of the Bahamas in comparison to the Bahamas Nationality Act. And guess what, y'all? You can be a part of the conversation if there's any question or comments that you would like to make as it relates to what we're discussing today.
Right. Amen.
I'm not changing the topic.
Amen.
Talking about the Constitution or the Nationality Act. Don't ask for nothing else because I can be able to accommodate you today.
No.
Okay, so the telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for text messages or calls is 801-0271. 801-0271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM Facebook pages, also on our YouTube channels. And you can check us out on Cable Bahamas Channel 974 or on the Global 99.5 FM app. Listen to us here on radio. Global 99.5 FM here in New Providence. And also a huge welcome to our audience tuned in all the way from Grand Bahama. However you're listening in, we welcome you to this Masterclass Monday on the Constitution of the Bahamas. Once again, my regular Monday guest, Professor Sidney McArthur. Walter Thompson is here. We're breaking down the Constitution in comparison to the Bahamas Nationality Act and allowing you the opportunity to compare them and learn about what is and is not, according to Professor, legal.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have a comment coming in from Ruth Julian. Hi, Miss Ruth. She says, today my eyes are open to the power of GPS and decision making and successful leadership in life. We either go forward or backward or remain where we are. I want to go forward. All right. Thank you so much for listening in, Miss Ruth. I want to welcome you here. All right, Professor. You say you wanted to finish up 9
yes, we got to finish that.
of the Nationality Act.
You can't leave it like that.
Okay, so what,
the thing is, I'm happy that that came in from the person who texted that in.
Right.
That is a good comment. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you listening out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to encourage as many others to listen on Mondays on Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. By the grace of God, I will be here.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't be like some other fellas who say they coming and don't show up. Or they be late.
You sat in for me on Friday, right?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate that.
Uh-huh. And the thing is, Bahamians, see, some things happened over the last 50 years. There's very little you could do when the milk is spilled on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do nothing about that. But what you could do is where we are today and where we will be in the future. And you have to have the knowledge, which is the supreme law of the land. Nothing trumps the Constitution. No Nationality Act. And see, there are too many inconsistencies, even if this was a legal document. Too many inconsistencies in it. And where there are inconsistencies, the Constitution prevails. The Constitution is very clear on that. Article 2. And so if a government makes a mistake and you see it, you have to tell them it's a mistake. Serious one. Dangerous one. Whether they like it or not is irrelevant. But Bahamians, we have to protect our interests. That's Article 24.1. And the unfortunate thing is we have failed to do that. And now, but the people say they didn't know the Constitution for the last 50 years. So I ain't gonna argue with them over that. My job here is to help you to know this document. You're going to be better citizens. You're going to be better people. You're going to have a better nation. You got a better community. And you have to get on well with your community people. Because I said the next phase after knowledge is application of that knowledge, being constitutionally organized on the ground in your community, because there are many things that are common to these communities. Nothing is happening there because we are not an organized grouping of people. Now, I did say there's one thing you did well for 50 years, peaceful transition from one administration to the next.
Right.
That's a good thing. And that's because of God and the electorate, the Bahamian people. Ain't nothing to do with them other fellas. So let's get that part straight. God has something to do with the Bahamian people. And we have to be sensible, utilize this powerful document that we have, because there are plenty of things in here we could use. We don't have to go south like them other fellas, or like the people in Sudan, where they're just chopping up and beating up and shooting down and carrying on bad. Break up the place, because it's going to take them a long time to get democracy back established. And it never, ever gets back when you have people overthrow a government.
Listen, I digress a bit, but don't miss Thursday's show.
Yes, ma'am.
Because all of that type of activity that you see happening, that ain't just happening. It's been orchestrated.
That's that.
And you would be shocked to find out who is orchestrating this unrest,
Yes,
whether
ma'am.
it be Sudan or Haiti or anywhere else it's happening. Don't miss Thursday show. That's all I got to
No,
say.
but that's good. I'm glad you said. And let me say, and I'll just add this, then we can move on to 10.
Yes.
Bahamian people, for 50 years in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we have had peaceful transition from one administration to the next. Don't let any influence come into this country to disrupt that, because the last election was the most peaceful ever in 50 years. You couldn't even hear a pin drop. It was so quiet.
Right.
So God has been with us, Bahamians. All is not lost. Now we got some things we got to fix. We could fix that. But the fact that we have democracy, it ain't perfect now. We got to do some working on it. We just need to get the right quality of people to run our national affairs and to carry out the business of the Bahamian people. We would be on our way. That's what we were supposed to do from day one. But we got sidetracked. But we got to fix that. Ms. Malcolm, I can let you go on.
Okay, we can move on now to part 3?
Yes, we could go, yeah.
Okay.
Part 3, yeah.
Part 3 of the Bahamas Nationality Act. And part 3 deals with loss of citizenship.
Yes.
Renunciation of citizenship, first schedule. So let me read part 3. And again, I'm reading from the Bahamas Nationality Act. Article 10. If any citizen of the Bahamas of full age and capacity who is or intends to become a citizen of any country mentioned in the first schedule, or B, a national of a foreign country, makes in the prescribed manner a declaration of renunciation of citizenship of the Bahamas, the minister shall cause the declaration to be registered, and upon such registration, that person shall cease to be a citizen of the Bahamas, but the minister may at his discretion withhold registration of any such declaration if it is made during any war in which the Bahamas is engaged by a person who is or intends to become a national of a foreign country.
That's it, right?
That's it for 10, yes.
Okay, now, let's get what the Constitution says to that. The Constitution speaks specifically to that kind of thing.
But you don't know where?
No, it's, I can't remember which article it is because I didn't have all my notes before me. I don't remember it, but I know it does. It's right there. Just run the scroll down.
Deprivation of citizenship, renunciation of citizenship, power of parliament.
This is where the power of parliament wouldn't apply here. This is where the Bahamian wants to be a citizen of another country.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Okay, I think I went too far down. Renunciation of citizenship. Any citizen of the Bahamas who has attained the age of 21 who is also a citizen or national of another country or intends to become a citizen or national of any other country shall be entitled to renounce his citizenship of the Bahamas by declaration made and registered in such manner as may be prescribed, provided that A, in the case of a person who is not a citizen or national of any other country at the date of registration of his declaration or renunciation, if he does not become such a citizen or national within 6 months from the date of registration, he shall be and shall be deemed to have remained a citizen of the Bahamas, notwithstanding the making and registration of his declaration and renunciation. And B, the right of any person to renounce his citizenship of the Bahamas during any period when the Bahamas is engaged in any war shall be subject to such exceptions or qualifications as may be prescribed in the interest of national security or public policy.
Now, see, you got two different things right there.
Mm-hmm.
What they're saying in the Nationality Act ain't saying what's in the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
See, the Constitution is very specific and very clear.
Mm-hmm.
And see, this is why I have a problem with this piece of legislation. Mind you, would have some points out of the Constitution. But the way how they got it all twisted up, it misleads you. When you read what the Constitution says, which is the supreme authority, and what this act is saying, you get two different readings.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because this ain't saying what you just read in the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there. That's why I have a problem with it. It did save the fella go, but he doesn't become a citizen within 6 months, it would be deemed as if he had not become a citizen of that country. So he got 6 months. You see, they say that in there.
So the Constitution says he has 6 months.
6 months, because see, the fellow might have some problems, and then he make a bad mistake. So the Constitution, okay, we'll give him 6 months. Then could clear your head. Then he could come back and say, I want nothing to do with that. And then you just strike that
I
out.
will hold on to my Bahamian citizenship.
Exactly. You see how wonderful this Constitution is?
But
now they're saying something else.
That's not what the Nationality Act is saying.
No, they ain't saying that at all. See, I don't like this thing about at the discretion of the minister. I have a problem with that. Or as the minister sees fit. I have a problem with that, Ms. Malcolm. The minister might wake up on the wrong side tomorrow morning, then we got problems. And he got to deal with my application. Then what? No, the Constitution says some very specific things. That's not in the Nationality Act. So he may decide he won't be a citizen of that other country. He could go through that. But then let's say he catch himself. Somebody talk sense to him. Child, please. Rethink that. So he got 6 months. That's half a year. That's plenty of time. Someone might have misled him or deceived him. And then he decided, I go in for that. But he made a mistake. Then the people would say, okay, you made a mistake. We could just knock that out as if it never happened. He stays a Bahamian citizen. I think this Constitution is a beautiful document. Even got a little bit of mercy tempered in it. You see how the founding fathers were thinking about the safety of the Bahamian people themselves if a fellow make a mistake, and also the protection of the new nation, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I know Ms. Thorpe going into this other thing. Yeah, I know that about that. But it's not saying the same thing. See, this is where everything gets confused. The National Act saying one thing, the Constitution saying another thing. Not people saying what in the Constitution, that's all right, not a problem. But it takes little pieces from the Constitution and put it in and then twist it all up.
Well, Professor, there's this saying that the best lies have a little bit of truth in them because that's what makes it believable.
No, you can't believe that.
So if you want to tell a good lie, don't come with something so outrageous that the person you're telling it to, you're like, oh, come on, that's outrageous.
Come on, that's outrageous. Yeah.
But if it got a little bit of truth in there, then
and
it's much more easy to believe.
Yeah, I understand that. But I think the Bahamian people need to begin to study for themselves now. I got asked this question, and I want anyone out there, if they can answer it. What is the purpose of a government? What is the purpose of a parliamentary representative? The Constitution tells you this, We ain't going into that today in any detail. But all I'm simply saying is governments have a responsibility. Parliament has a responsibility to the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We can't take that lightly. Some people say, well, you go figure that out yourself. But then if you could figure it out for yourself, you don't need no government. You don't need no representative. Everybody out there doing their own thing. That's why you have order in the country. And I am grateful that the Bahamian people have had this peaceful transition from one administration to the next over the last 50 years. That is the best thing that happened in the Bahamas in 50 years, in an independent Bahamas. And that's a good thing. Now, all we need to do is take that and build on top of it. You hear nothing in the news about that because they don't like report good things like that. But I will say it every time I have to say, when I have my own show, I'll be repeating it repeatedly over and over and over again till it gets into the psyche of the Bahamian people. Let's build on that and make this Bahamas a better place than what it is now. We just don't know what we have. So the other fella come and take it from you. We got to deal with the economic and financial prosperity of the average Bahamian. Now, we got to fix that in year 51. So in year 52, everybody's straight.
Boy, that sounds good, but I ain't too hopeful.
You're not too hopeful. No, but that's fine.
hopeful.
That's fine. But I see. I always listen to what people say because the Constitution allows people to express their views. But I have to get the Bahamian people to understand if we trust in God, as we ought to be doing.
With God, all things are possible for sure.
No, but see, then we got to do some things. See, some things didn't happen because we didn't do it. See, when the election, God was running that. The atmosphere, that beautiful atmosphere, September the 16th, 2021, child, please.
I have somebody asking a question on Facebook.
Yes.
Richard says, good afternoon, Professor Thompson. If the Bahamas was to change to a republic style of governance, would we have to change the present constitution?
Yes. Now, I would say yes to it because I think I understand where he's coming from. But no one has explained what is a republic.
Okay.
Because the Constitution doesn't speak to no republic. In order to go there, you got to have a referendum. And,
so not necessarily throw it out and have a brand new constitution. So you're saying that there are portions of it that you can keep, but others you may have to amend to fit into the...
Let's put it this way. As I know that Constitution is so intertwined with the Queen.
And the Commonwealth. Right.
Yes. So we got to ask ourselves, are we ready to break ties with the British monarchy? Because when you look at that document...
Because when you're talking about a republic, you're talking about a completely different structure.
Completely different thing. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Yes.
Right.
So I don't know. Now, since we got all this confusion in the Bahamas, I think we better not fool around with that. I will respectfully suggest to the Bahamian people, let's get the right people to do our national affairs. Now, we got to do some hard work. You got to do some searching. You got to do some deep searching for the right persons to run our national affairs. You can't take it lightly. Political parties have their say because the Constitution says they could exist. So I'm not even getting into that.
Right.
All I am saying is when you are an elector is one who has participated in the parliamentary democracy. You could be a person who is a registered constituent. That's one thing. You could be a constituent, unregistered constituent. That's one. Number two, registered constituent. Number three, an elector. That's all in the Constitution. But the Constitution allows people to do those things. Yes, so they'll say I can register, but I'm participating. I'm not going to be an elector. The point is there are problems, deep-seated problems in these constituencies that have been so for decades, from the very beginning when we became a nation. And they ain't got it straight yet. Because we haven't been paying attention as citizens to the deep-seated problems right in your face, in your local community where you live. We got some deep-seated problems where I live too. But we have to work with the people and try to get them to understand, since we are a nation under God. You see how God is involved in our affairs? Why the thing set up like that? Because we could appeal to God. We have the Holy Bible to guide us and lead us in the right way. But we got to make sensible laws. So when we have people sitting in the House of Assembly or at a meeting, even if they're not in the House, they have their Holy Bible right there. To guide them to make righteous laws to run the country. That ain't been happening. That certainly ain't happened in recent times. People just jump up and do all kinds of things. And there have been amendments, and I just heard some things where they just amended. And one consult with me. I get no input or anything.
You were sleeping when they come and knock on your door.
Oh, maybe I was asleep, yeah. Okay, all right. But let me tell you something. Anything would happen in that area, everybody in there will inform me and tell me.
You were taking a nap when they came and knocked on your door.
Maybe that you could be right.
Maybe you was on a little trip to one family island and they come and knock on your door.
That might be so.
And that's how you got missed.
They've been missing me for a long time.
50 years.
50 years, yes. You hear that?
That's a long nap.
That's a long time to miss me. And I've been at the same place, same constituency, same area for that length of time.
My Lord.
So how they miss me. Even in the census, they miss me because I ain't on that census. that census is inaccurate because my name is not there. My brother's name is not there. My sister's name is not there. My nephew's name is not there.
They guesstimate.
That's a different.
They guesstimated that number.
No,
okay.
No, you don't guess. Now, see, prior to that, it takes 10 years. I was on the last one.
Right.
So I have no problem with that. But this one they just passed. Come on, man. Some things went wrong with that one, but that's a different story for another day. All I'm saying is that we have to look at ourselves. Bahamians, we've got to do something about this country. We are in serious difficulty. But don't allow this thing to go south and get people confused. Make sure hold your head, believe in God, trust in God, and ask him to help us because we can need him to help us. So we could stay away from, and we listened to the show on Thursday with the man say, and I'm not saying that he would not be telling us the truth, but there's a way to avoid all of that kind of confusion is to stay with God. And then you're safe. But so far, we've had that peaceful transition. Now we got to have it for the next 50 years. But we have to have a better country. And to have a better country, you need quality people to do your national affairs. Because obviously something is missing at this point in time. So we got to fix it.
We have to take a break. Going into the break, we have a comment on Facebook that says, this is somebody by the name of Richard. Richard says, I will be reaching out to you, great Professor Thompson. I will reach out to you for your great opinion about certain amendments to our great Constitution. Okay, music is playing. We have to take a break. On the other side, we're going to continue to comb over the Bahamas Nationality Act in comparison to the Constitution of the Bahamas to see where the two meet and where they do not. Stay with us.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy, with mailboat to U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here on this Masterclass Monday, inviting you to join Professor Sidney McArthur Thompson, Walter Thompson, and I as we go through this Constitution compared to the Bahamas Nationality Act. We are streaming live on Facebook. So yeah, you can check us out there on the official Michelle Malcolm or Global 99.5 FM pages. Make sure you like and share the show. Also check us out on our YouTube streams. Call us at 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages or calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. You can also catch us on Cable Bahamas, channel 974, on your radio dial here in New Providence, 99.5 FM. And of course, you can also download the Global 99.5 FM app and check us out there. And a huge welcome to our audience coming in all the way from Grand Bahamas. So yeah, we've got Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson back in the house. Every Monday we do a masterclass on the Constitution. They say time flies when you're having fun, and it's already 3:34 p.m. And boy, this show could go on for another year.
I think it could.
Because
I think it could.
as
There's
much
so
ground as we're
material to
covering,
cover.
there's still so much more to come.
Much more to cover, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So are we done with 10? Can we move on up to 11 of the Nationality Act, or there's something else you wanted to add as it relates to Article 10, which we just
No.
covered?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we could move on.
So Article 11, again, this is the Bahamas Nationality Act. And in case you're joining us late or you're just learning about these Constitution shows, what we're doing now is we are comparing the Nationality Act to the Constitution of the Bahamas. We sort of went down in this direction when a certain ruling took place here, I believe it was, or
The Privy Council.
of the Privy Council, and we had to compare we started to compare at that time the Nationality Act with the Constitution. So once we get through the Nationality Act, then we will go back to just the Constitution, breaking that down section by section, article by article, line by line, unless something else comes up where we have to compare the Constitution to another act. But for now, yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
That's right.
In this particular town.
That's
Okay.
right.
Back to the Bahamas Nationality Act. And we're now going to look at Article 11. 11.1 of the Bahamas Nationality Act says, subject to the provisions of this section, the minister may at his discretion by order deprive of his citizenship any citizen of the Bahamas who is such by virtue of Article 3 or 4 of the Constitution, or by registration or naturalization, if the minister is satisfied that the registration or certificate of naturalization was obtained by means of fraud, false pretense, or concealment of any material act. That's 11.1. Let me read that again.
Yeah, let's go that again.
Subject to the provisions of this section, the minister may, at his discretion, by order, deprive of his citizenship any citizen of the Bahamas who is such by virtue of Article 3, 3, or 4 of the Constitution, or by registration or naturalization, if the minister is satisfied that the registration or certificate of naturalization was obtained by means of fraud, false representation, or concealment of any material fact.
At 3.1. Well, let's look at that portion, what he
Of the
quoted there.
Constitution?
Yeah, you got to see what he's saying there.
Okay, so let's go back
Let's see what
there.
I think it's 3, 3, and 4, he said.
Let me just pull that up. Okay, so 3.3 of the Constitution. Let me just find that. Okay, 3.3 says, every person who on 9th July 1973 is a citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies, having become such a citizen under the British Nationality Act 1948, by virtue of his having been registered in the former colony of the Bahama Islands under that act, shall become a citizen of the Bahamas on the 10th of July 1973, provided that this paragraph shall not apply to any citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies, A, who was not ordinarily resident of that colony on December 31, 1972, or B, who became registered in that colony on or after 1st January 1973, or C, who on 9th July 1973 possesses a citizenship or nationality of some other country. That's 3.
Right.
Of Constitution, Article 3.
Okay, now let me just say that. Now, you notice the time limit? There's a time limit for these persons under the British Nationality Act.
Okay.
See, it's very important that we get that. All right? So the person has to be what? Ordinarily what? Resident in the Bahamas. See, we got to pay attention to these details, you know, because see, I just get dead vexed when I have people talking foolishness and nonsense. Pay attention to details in the Constitution. That's why we got all messed up from the beginning, because we don't pay attention to detail. There's a specific period of time. That's what I keep saying about citizenship. It gives time limits in each different article. And that's what we have to pay attention to. And the other one is what he said?
4.
4. Okay, see what 4 says.
Every person who on 9th July 1973 is a citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies,
Yes.
A, having become such a citizen under the British Nationality Act 1948 by virtue of his having been naturalized in the former colony of the Bahamas, the Bahama Islands, before the act came into force, or B, having become such a citizen by virtue of his having been naturalized in a former colony of the Bahama Islands under that act, shall become a citizen of the Bahamas on 9th July 1974.
Yes.
Unless prior to that date he has in such a manner as may be prescribed, declared that he does not desire to become a citizen of the Bahamas, provided that this section shall not apply to a citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies who on 9th July 1973 possesses the citizenship or nationality of some of the country.
Now, notice that now. Time limit and date, right? Okay. And it can only apply to that particular person. All right? Who is applying, not some other person in the British Isles.
Okay.
The person has to be what? Naturalized where? In the former colony of the Bahama Islands.
Mhm.
See, I just get dead vexed when people don't pay attention to detail, you know. Because you see, you got to notice what the Constitution is saying.
Mhm.
See, I train my mind to think about these things. There are specifics, dates, and times when it comes to naturalization of persons under the British Nationality Act,
Mhm.
1974.
Mhm.
What year is it?
Um,
What year is it now? 2023, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
then, all right.
Mhm.
So you think they could get it now?
Well, you know,
But see, I looking at the Constitution, what the Constitution tells me, but I ain't know nothing about this other thing what these fellas got here. You see how things get all confuddled up and confused? Because we are not specific with the Constitution. Now you say some other things in there, we can come to that. But all I'm saying is I am happy that you went and read it again. See, it refreshes my mind too.
Mhm.
Because the thing is, if you don't pay attention to these details,
right.
you can run into all kinds of problems.
Mhm.
And apparently we have run into all kinds of problems because we wasn't listening to what the Constitution say. Just like in Article 6, we ain't checking. We want to do our own thing. But now there's some other things he's saying there. You could continue.
Continue with the Nationality
Oh,
Act.
yes. That's what the man say. He put him there. So that's what he wants. Because I know what the Constitution say. I could deal with that. But this other thing I know. But let's listen to what he say there.
Okay. So 11.2, Article 11.2 of the
Yes.
Nationality Act. Subject to the provisions of this section, the minister may at his discretion by order deprive of his citizenship any citizen of the Bahamas who is such by registration or naturalization if the minister is satisfied that he has A1 at any time after registration or naturalization been convicted of the offense or treason of treason by a competent court in any Commonwealth country or convicted by a competent court in any country of a criminal offense on conviction of which the death penalty or a term of imprisonment of not less than 7 years may be imposed and has not received a free pardon in respect of the offense. That's A1. A2. Within 5 years after registration or naturalization, been convicted by a competent court in any country of a criminal offense and sentenced, therefore, to imprisonment for a term of not less than 12 months and has not received a free pardon in respect to the offense. Or A3, shown himself by act or speech to be disloyal or disaffected towards the Bahamas. Or, boy, it's a lot. A4, during any war in which the Bahamas has been engaged, unlawfully traded or communicated with the enemy, or has been engaged in or associated with any business that was to his knowledge carried on in such a manner as to assist any enemy in that war. Or A5, engaged in activities, whether within or outside the Bahamas, which are prejudicial to the safety of the Bahamas or to the maintenance of law and public order in the Bahamas. Wow, that's a lot. Or B, who is such by virtue of Article 3, 3, or 4 of the Constitution, if the minister is satisfied that subparagraph 2, 3, or 4 of paragraph A, which we just read, of this subsection applies in his case. That's a heck of a lot.
No, that is a heck of a lot. But what does the Constitution say about revocation of citizenship? Now, I hear all that mumbo jumbo. I don't understand that at all. So I'll just let that
Come closer to your microphone.
I'll just let that sit on the side for now. But what does the Constitution say? Who's responsible for revocation of citizenship?
Okay, I'm searching through now.
Because the Constitution speaks to that very clearly.
Okay, persons who become citizens.
And perhaps even at this time, because the Constitution is very specific, a specific date by a specific time, 1974. This is 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think anyone now under that Vishnalia could apply.
Okay, renunciation of citizenship.
Yes.
And this is Article 12 of the Constitution. Any person of the Bahamas, any citizen of the Bahamas who has attained the age of 21 years and 2A is also a citizen or a national of any other country, or B intends to become a citizen or a national of any other country, shall be entitled to renounce his citizenship of the Bahamas by a declaration made and registered in such manner as may be prescribed, provided that A, in the case of a person who is not a citizen or national of any other country at the date of registration of his declaration or renunciation, if he does not become such a citizen or national within 6 months from the date of registration, he shall be deemed to have remained a citizen of the Bahamas, notwithstanding the making and registration of his declaration of renunciation. And B, the right of any person to renounce his citizenship of the Bahamas during any period when the Bahamas is engaged in any war shall be subject to such exceptions or qualifications as may be prescribed in the interest of national security or public policy. That's what the Constitution says.
Now, the thing is, I think he's talking about some other things about persons from this particular act having gotten themselves into some difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
And the minister, acting in his capacity as Minister for Citizenship,
Mm-hmm. Come
has
closer to the
right-
microphone.
has
for
the
me.
right to make a revocation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know whether I don't get the clarity of all those different things that he's talking about in
Mhm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's something in the Constitution that speaks about the Governor General who has responsibility for revocation, citizenship.
Okay, I have to search through for that.
There is something in there that speaks specifically to that. And you read that one before.
Uh-huh.
And so we have to get the specific article that deals with the specific thing that the minister is trying to say in the Nationality Act. And I think all that thing they put in there, that is very confusing. Okay? But there's something in there that speaks to the Governor General.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, but it's there. I don't remember which one it is.
Okay. Tell you what, let's take a commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
And during the break, I'm going to search through the Constitution to see if I can find that.
Yeah.
And then if I pull it up in time on the other side of the break, I'll go ahead and read that. So let me search through and then, let's see what we can find. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
All right, welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5. I did find this section that the professor is referring to about the Governor General. That is Article 11 of the Constitution, 11.1. It says, if the Governor General is satisfied that any citizen of the Bahamas has at any time after 9th July 1973 acquired by registration, naturalization, or other voluntary and formal act other than marriage, the citizenship of any other country, the Governor General may by order deprive that person of his citizenship. If the Governor General, this is 11.2, if the Governor General is satisfied that any citizen of the Bahamas has at any time after 9th July 1973 voluntarily claimed and exercised in any other country any rights available to him under the law of that country, being rights accorded exclusively to its citizens, the Governor General may by order deprive that person of his citizenship. Is that the section you're talking about?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Okay.
Revocation of citizenship. And you
Mhm.
notice two different things, right? The 11.1 and 11.2.
Mhm.
That power rests with the Governor General.
Come a little closer to the microphone.
That power
please.
rests with the Governor General.
Okay.
Now, here's one that did something that got citizenship and is now disloyal for whatever reason to the Bahamas. Then this has to be brought before the Governor General, because you heard him say exclusive rights exclusively in another country
Mhm.
that pertain to those other citizens, and he fooling around with that. If he wants to go there, fine. Leave the Bahamas alone and go.
Okay.
But you can't say you could be Bahamian too. It has to be brought to the attention of the Governor General. But now I see in this thing, they say the minister. I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. The Constitution is talking about revocation by the Governor General. So if we're going to be constitutional about, see, I love the Constitution. And I think that there are certain things that have to be done, but it has to be done decently and in order.
Mhm.
So if I understand what the act is saying, that is this thing here called the Bahamas Nationality Act.
Mhm.
Apparently, and if I'm wrong, you could correct me. Apparently, this is dealing with someone who got citizenship under the British Nationality Act.
Mhm.
Or it may be under another situation, like how it says, anyone after the 9th of July, 1973. See, that's the Governor General. Right from the very beginning, straight on up to now, and it doesn't end.
Okay.
There's no time limit to that.
Mhm.
The Governor General could act on it anytime, anywhere, any place, once it's brought to his attention. And the circumstances are such it needs revocation. He has the power and authority to revoke it. That's the power of the Governor General. That's
Right.
one power that he has.
Mhm.
But these things would have to be brought to his attention so he will know, and then he could do whatever he has to do, his work, whatever, and have his people look at it. and say, yes, that one needs to be revoked.
So from your interpretation of what this Nationality Act is saying, are you saying then that the minister under the Nationality Act has the power to ignore that requirement based as it is written in the Constitution, that power should only lie in the hands of the Governor General?
It's a good question that you ask. I like those kind of questions. See, the Constitution is saying, listen, from the beginning, July the 9th, anytime after July 9th, this is 2023, the Governor General still has that power. Ain't stopped.
Okay.
Now, they're saying in the act about the minister. I'm saying, wait a minute now. I understand where he's talking about a person who's disloyal to the country and all of that. That's understood. We have to deal with them kind of people. But the Constitution is saying the Governor General. You see, Article 11.1 speaks specific to the particular thing. 11.2 speaks to this particular situation. And the Governor General can revoke it. That's what I'm saying. Now, of course, they got in this thing, say the minister could do something. See, this is where I say the conflict comes in. I'm not saying the minister may not have good intentions.
But he should refer them to the Governor General.
But then we have to deal with it from a constitutional point of view. I appreciate his interest in protecting the interests of the country. That's fine. I got no problem with that. That's why I listen carefully and I hear all these other things in there. That's why I said, let's find out what the Constitution says about revocation. You hit the right article, 11.1 and 11.2, because I know it was there. Revocation of citizenship. Anytime after the 9th of July, 1973, right on up to now and going on into the future. There's no end to it.
That right falls solely to the Governor General.
To the Governor General. That's what the Constitution says. I got to go with that. But we got to bring it to his attention. He may not even know, but you got to give it to his attention and say, Governor General, we need you to look at this. But see, he has the power to revoke. That's in the Constitution.
Right.
And see, when we don't go by the Constitution, we get all confuddled up and all mixed up. That's why the country is in the crap it's in now.
Professor, time gone.
Oh.
Got less than a minute to go before we end the show. I want to thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I guess next week we will pick up, right back in...
Well, we're still in the 11. No, not 11.1. That's the Constitution. Where we are in...
11.
No, that's the Constitution.
Yeah.
Now we're dealing with the Nationality Act.
Yeah, but we only got as far as 11 A. So now we got to pick up at 11B.
Okay. All right.
Well, or 3. Anyway, we can figure it out. We can figure it out.
Okay.
All right. Time is gone. Thank you so much, Professor, for... Yeah, we're still in 11. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. I really appreciate you and all that you bring to the show. And obviously the people listening out there appreciate you as well. So thank you. And God willing, we'll see you next week. Okay, time is gone. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another engaging topic that will encourage you to think beyond what you see on the surface, because that's what GPS is all about. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are